I've learned that when you're buying a home, mindset is key. I'm Erica Wetherill, and these are my top tips for developing the mindset of a successful home buyer. Tip number one is to be flexible. This is my number one piece of advice. When you're buying a home, the unexpected often happens. Or sometimes the seller of the home you want to buy is just really difficult to deal with. If you can remember that there may be bumps in the road, but that I'm in the car with you and we're going to problem solve together, you're going to have a much more pleasant experience. Tip number two is to remember your goals. I want to share a story from some of my buyers. This couple really wanted to live in a particular neighborhood. They had friends in the neighborhood, they knew that people often did block parties there and kids rode their bikes in the street, and they just really wanted to live there. So when a great house for them came on the market, we got it under contract and we were negotiating repairs. After a long negotiation, we came down to a $300 AC repair that the seller was not gonna make. In that moment, it was really important for my buyers to remember their goal of being in that neighborhood so that they could compromise on this issue and move forward. 5 years later, when they're having block parties with all their friends, this $300 AC repair was going to be a distant memory, and they were going to be so glad that they just moved forward into the house that they really loved. Tip number three is to take a look inside. What kind of spender are you? Are you someone who tends to spend generously, or are you a little bit more frugal? I find that my generous spenders are happier in the end when they pare down their wish list a little bit and spend a little bit less than what they could. Conversely, I find that my frugal spenders often cannot find the type of home that they want within the budget that they've set. Those buyers are often happier when they stretch themselves a little bit to get the type of house that they actually want. So take a moment to take a look inside and think about the kind of spender that you are. Tip number four is to look for potential. There's no perfect house out there, but there may be a house that's perfect for you. Your perfect house might be hidden behind an outdated kitchen or layers of old wallpaper. As we're touring homes, we'll talk about ways to update a home to give you the best return on it, depending on the neighborhood that it's in. Now, I know that updating a home is not going to be right for every buyer, but for many buyers, a little imagination combined with a good painter or a good contractor can take an average house and turn it into something that they're really gonna love.